Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Saf and this is a continuation of video lecture series on Rasa Chatbot development using Google Colab. In this video, we will talk about Rasa form action and implement it in Colab. Before that, I strongly recommend to watch my previous videos for better understanding and subscribe to my channel. Let's get started. First understand what is form in Rasa. Form is a specific kind of custom action that contain the logic to loop over the set of required slots and ask the user for this information. To understand a form action in Rasa, let's create a query. Suppose you organize the Rasa Hackathon where you develop a chatbot for registration where user provide details like name, user ID, mobile number and email for registration. After that, chatbot save participant details in CSV file if user is not already registered. This is the initial Rasa chatbot that we are created in previous videos. Here is the initial file where we make changes in it and override the current file. Let's start by creating a query hackathon. For that, we need to first create a intent name in NLU file. Create a intent name, add some sample statements. Now, here the important information that user provide is name. We need to extract that information from user input. In Rasa term, it is called entity extraction. For that, we have to specify name as entity with a square bracket, and we also have to specify its name in circular bracket just after it. Let's say entity username is name. Add some more sample statements. After that, create another intent user ID, add sample statement as well. Create entity user ID to extract user ID from input message. Create another intent number to get user mobile number, add some sample statement, create entity mob to extract user mobile number from input message. Lastly, create another intent email ID to get user email ID, add sample statement as well, create entity email to extract user email ID from input message. Now add all intent to the intent section of domain file. We also have to add the entities that we created in NLU file in separate section. Create another section entities, add all the entities name there. Before start editing the action function, one thing we needed there is the important information that we extracted from user input, but we cannot use entity directly in action file as entity is only used to extract information from user input. We have to create a variable that hold all information, and we also use it in action file. We called it slots in Rasa. Now create a slots in domain file, create a section slots, add slots name, and also specify the data type it hold, type unfeaturized, as it not influence the conversation. Same way we have to do for user ID, mob, and email. Well, we create slots name same as entity name to avoid separate mapping with entity and slots. As I already create a separate video for that where we discuss how you map the slots and entity when slots and entity name are different. Edit the grid response. Before moving forward, we need to first define the response that bot give to the user, which help in getting information from user. In form action, we need to define the question which bot ask directly to the user to fill the slots. We no need to define it in stories. So structure look like utter underscore ask underscore whatsoever the slot's name. Like to fill the slot name, we directly ask question to the user by defining the response statement like utter underscore ask underscore name and then define the text. Same way we have to define the question asked while filling the slots for user ID, mobile number and email. Also create a end response which is called always at the end of conversation. Let's move to the action.py file and write our form action. First, we have to import some library, import OS, import pandas as PD to write the details of user in CSV file. Now import Rasa form action from Rasa SDK. After that, change the class name to Action Hackathon. Change action to form action. Change the action function name to Action Hack. In Rasa form, we have to define the required slot function, which is used to fill the required slots during form action to complete. Define function as static method. Create function required slots and add all slots name. One thing important here is the order of slots in list also define the order in which bot will ask the user for mandatory fields. Later that we have to create function submit, change the function name to submit, which is executed when form is completed. First, get all the slots value that we define. Now we have to check whether CSV file, let's suppose participant.csv file, exists or not. If not, create an empty one. Read the CSV file using pandas. Every time user come for registration, then first we need to check whether that user exists in our database or not. This can be done here by using user ID that must be unique. Check user ID already present or not. If present, then either user is already registered or someone taken that user ID. Create message for that. Combine all the message. If user ID is not present, add the details to CSV files and return a registration successful message to the user. Combine all the message. Return the message. Now add this form action in domain file. Create another section, forms, add form hack. After that, create a stories for hackathon. After greeting, define the form action name. We also have to activate the form. For that, we have to type form name and then form name. After executing the form, we also have to deactivate the form. Type form name and then null to deactivate the form. And lastly, put end response. Now we're done with creating our chatbot. Overwrite all files one by one. Before training the chatbot, we need to first edit the endpoint files. Uncomment action endpoint and below line also and save it. We also have to add the form policy in config file. Open it. Add name, form policy. We good to go. Let's train our chatbot as we trained earlier. Well, our training is now completed. To start our action server and to use the form action, we use command rasa run actions ampersand rasa cell as we did in earlier videos. So it first start the action server and then invoke the chatbot. Now run the cell. Our chatbot is loaded and ready to use. Initially, CSV file is empty. Type hey. It asks for name. Type name in capital letter. It asks for user ID. Type any user ID. Now it asks for mobile number. Give him some random number. As we didn't give any type of validation, so it will work. Again, it asks for email. Give him some random email. Here you see, after providing the email, form action is completed and it saved the data to CSV file. Let's check the CSV file again. Here you see it saved the participant detail successfully. Now start the form action again and this time we check this already present user ID. But here you see, instead of showing letters, it show dots. Actually, in this command, when user input something, it treat input as security key or password types. That's why it hide it in the form of dots. And after pressing enter, it pass the input to the backend. And here it show blank line. Here you see it check the CSV file whether user is present or not. As it already present in it, it gives the message to me that user is already present. Now end the chat, type stop. I hope from this video you got better understanding of Rasa form action in Colab, and I hope everything is clear to you. But if in case you face any kind of difficulty in understanding any part of this topic, please leave a comment below and I will try to help you with that. That's all from my side for this videos. I hope you like the video. So don't forget to like the video. If you haven't subscribed my channel yet, do subscribe my channel and press bell icon to never miss an update about our videos. Till then, happy learning.